Hi. Oh, hi. I'm Marc. I used to be a senior artist at Blizzard Entertainment, and now I teach art for a living. In this new holiday episode of my weekly series that I've been calling YouTube Art School, I am going to show you how to draw even more dynamic poses. A few weeks ago, I showed level 1, 2, and 3 in the first class on the topic. Link in the description and in the top here. Well, this week we'll be looking at level 4 to 6. Oh snap, there was more. Quickly, let's get this class started. Alright, class is in session. Pay attention, we're going to be drawing a lot today. It's going to be half a tutorial and half a drawing session. Make sure to check the other class that I mentioned in the intro for all the basics on dynamic poses. It's my most popular class yet. This time though, I'll be covering some extra tips to make your character poses even more dynamic. Stuff that I haven't mentioned yet. We'll cover that first, and for the rest of the video, I'll just be drawing a bunch more poses to help demonstrate it all better. I recorded everything in 60 frames per second, so don't hesitate to slow down the video if needed. It should still look pretty fluid. If you do, turn the audio off though, unless you want to hear what I sound like when I'm completely hammered. I don't recommend it. But yeah, let's get right into it. Oh, but wait, I forgot to mention that this class isn't free, as usual. Unless you're a thief, you'll have to pay the class fee of either 1 like or 1 sub. It's the law. Okay, since the last video covered level 1 to 3, with each level adding on more complexity to our dynamic poses, this time we're going wild with 3 extra levels of complexity. For each level, we'll look at a new tip to add to the others that we've already covered, also increasing in difficulty. By the way, if you like how I teach, check out the video description for a coupon code to save big on my complete art education program from home. More complete and relevant than typical art colleges for a tiny fraction of the price. The current discount is valid until the end of the month only. Happy holidays. Let's go. Level 4. We're going to start with something less so about the pose itself and more about the imaginary camera that we're looking through here. Because level 4 is all about FOV, field of view, a high field of view. A very high FOV would be something like a fisheye lens where things in the distance appear really far away and things closer to the camera appear very close. A low FOV on the other hand would make the image a lot more narrowed in and a lot flatter looking. Increasing your field of view when drawing poses stretches the perspective in a way that adds a ton of dynamism. As I think is pretty obvious here, look at these 2 drawings of the same pose. Obviously though, this depends on having a good understanding of foreshortening like we covered in the level 3 in the last video. At level 5, we'll add framing to the list. Tight framing to be more specific. This drawing here is already pretty dynamic, but we can get very intimate with the subject when we crop out some of the stuff as if we were getting physically closer. You'll see this done in a lot of splash art in games because of how useful it is to both display high dynamism, but also more easily tell a story by having a closer shot on the character, allowing us to see the facial expressions better. Of course, this is going to work great for an already super dynamic pose, but it also tends to make most poses more dynamic by default. A spin on this, literally, could be to spin the camera a bit, aka the canvas, as if the camera is not level on the ground. Something you might be able to observe if the camera itself is in motion, like I'm filming this and I'm myself in the action. A dynamic pose and a dynamic camera. Wow, double dynamic. Now, for the last tip, we'll add even more to the drawings by adding in secondary motion. This could be a cape flowing in the air or long hair on your character. Anything that moves as a result of being pulled or pushed by the body or other exterior forces like wind. Generally, if it's not because of an exterior force, the secondary motion will follow the body but with a bit of delay. Here, the head has already turned to the side, but the hair hasn't had time to do that yet. It's still in motion. Without the hair, the character might seem like she's not moving, but its secondary motion lets us know that we're still in the action. Of course, if it's an external force like wind, it's a little easier. Like with this character with a cape. I get to decide where from and how strong the wind is, so I can adjust it to get the exact shape that I want the cape to have. Either a little secondary motion or a lot. And that's it. I'll go ahead and keep drawing a few more for practice, but I'll let the rest of the time-lapse play and I'll pick it back up at the end to wrap things up. I'll be back in a few. well, that's going to be it for today's class. That's enough drawing for a session. Now, if you haven't already, you can go ahead and grab one of my 2 main brush sets for free in the top right corner of the screen and down below as a gift for watching until the end like a good student. You probably gained more art XP too. Well done. The pack even includes my favorite brushes for sketching, the one that I've used in this video. Wow. Now, make sure that you have notifications enabled to be on time for next week's class. By the way, if you end up drawing something that you're proud of as a result, or if you use my brushes for your art, show me the results. I love seeing what you guys create. I can't reply to everything, but I see it all, and I might even retweet or share it on my Instagram stories to send some eyeballs your way. Yum. Hope you have a creative week, and I'll see you next Saturday.